most of you guys know me as a wedding photographer, and the whole COVID talk about weddings over the last few years has been few months. I'm distracted right now, guys. The whole COVID talk over the last few months has been a little crazy, mostly for the fact that we do not know when or how or what would happen to weddings. And so it's been about 6 months. It's September 29th right now. And I will tell you that weddings were not what we expected. And everything that we planned for and talked about kind of got thrown out the window. And I want to talk to you guys about it right now. What's going on, guys? It's Jeramie with Jeramie Photography. Thank you so much for tuning in. Guys, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. If the video helps you anyway, give it a thumbs up and then click that bell for notifications. It'll just tell you every time I come back on. So guys, I have recently been shooting weddings. We have been going to weddings. With Weddings of the West, we've been kind of creating plans, talking. I have a few event people in the industry who are creating these like empty table events or showing that we can safely move forward with doing weddings, events, and all that stuff, because we're coming into event season, and a lot of us make a lot of our money from events and weddings themselves. Now, when we talked about this 3 months ago, we had no idea what the restrictions were going to be. 50 people, 20 people, are everybody wearing masks, sanitizer, or do you have to do a temperature check on everybody? Nobody knew what the plan was, and that was the scariest part. But I will say in the last 3 months, 2 months, month and a half of actually shooting bigger weddings again, nothing's changed in the wedding world, guys. Yes, there's masks on table. Yes, there's sanitizer. No, there's no temperature checks. And no, nobody's wearing masks. We'll get a couple people that come in during the ceremony, like right when they get there with masks on, but by the time reception comes, party, dancing, drinking, and no masks are happening. Me and my team have a mask, the DJ has a mask, all vendors will have masks. We'll have them on. I wear it around my wrist because I'm far away enough from people. But when I'm shooting with people and I'm directing them, my mask is on. And I notice now that as further that I go throughout the weddings, I'm starting to reduce the mask wearing. And the reason for that is that we've been tracking all these weddings. Secretly, all the vendors have been following every single wedding that we've done to see, is there an outbreak of COVID within these weddings? And out of the last 10 weddings that I've done, I only have like 5 more for the year. It's just so sad. There's been no outbreak of COVID, no outbreak of coronavirus. And we work very closely with our clients just to make sure, because they don't obviously want to be part of it. The venues don't want to be part of it as well. And I'm not going to name any vendors or venues at this time because I don't want you guys going after them or somebody going after them asking them questions. But I will say that as vendors, we've done everything that we can and we do it correctly because this is our livelihood and this is our business. Obviously, if you are a guest at a wedding, you're not going to wear a mask while drinking and dancing. You're not going to drink mask. And the more that you drink, you're not going to remember to do that. And it's just the way alcohol runs. So the reason that this sparked was there's an article that I got pushed to that I kind of want to read to you guys. This is actually kind of a fear of ours. So one of the scary things that the governor of Nevada told us, which is a whole other story with this homie, is that first off, I didn't even know what the governor did until COVID happened. I honestly had no idea. My job as a photographer was to shoot the governor at events. And now that he's actually like doing all that, and that was the old governor. Now we have a new governor and a new governor. We got a new governor. Anyways, all right, guys. So one of the big fears that we had was, all right, so say there's an event, say you have an event, you have 150 people there, maybe only 50 people are allowed. What happens? Do the police come? Do they break you down? Does everybody get arrested? We get fined? Are people in white suits coming in or white, hazmat things coming in and just measuring everybody? Like, what is happening? What are we doing? And we had no idea. And none of that's happened. None of that's been reported here, but New York, it has. And so I want to kind of talk to you guys about this. And this is very recent, which is actually even more scary. So let me pull up the article here and figure. Okay, guys. So here is the article. This thing right here is crazy. So coronavirus news. Officials break up Queen's wedding with nearly 300 people. So yeah, 300 people is a lot. This was Saturday, September 26th. Guys, 300 people is a lot, but it doesn't matter. It's still more than the 100 people, 50 people. I think right now it's 50 people in my area, with hopes that he's going to bring it up to 250 soon. So I'm going to bring this over here for you guys just a little so I can see it more. Woodside, this is in Queens. Nearly 300 people celebrated without being socially distanced at a wedding reception in Queens on Friday night. The New York Sheriff's Department broke up the celebration being held at Elite Palace on 69 to Garfield Avenue in Woodside around midnight. So they broke it down around midnight. Pretty much the whole day's done, right? The whole wedding is over and they're breaking it up then. So if people are going to get coronavirus, they got it in there. But also, like, just leave them in there. Let them have fun. Authorities received a tip about people attending the wedding. So that means Karen called about the wedding. And I love using the word Karen, but it's a term. Okay, you guys can call me Asian. It's fine. And when they arrived, they observed large groups of people entering the location through what appeared to be an indoor parking area. They also heard loud music coming from the location. Officials say that the wedding had indoor seating, food, and alcohol service in addition to a band playing live music. It's a wedding, guys. That's what we expect, right? The crowd was safely dispersed from the event. Both manager and owner of the venue were taken into custody and issue appearance tickets for multiple misdemeanors. The doors of the Elite Palace remain locked on Saturday, but neighbors said they are not sure how long this will last. They say they have had large parties in the avenue for months. Guys, if this is a location, no, this is not the location. This is the picture. So yeah, that sucks. They got arrested. They got detained. I'm sure they got, or not. I don't know if detained. They got fined, and we know that this was a possibility everywhere that we went. And if you would have asked me 3 months ago, I would have said, yeah, good. I mean, they shouldn't have done it. They should have known. They're ruining the events industry. They're ruining whatever. But 3 months later, being a self-employed photographer, trying to run a business, trying to raise a family in this time where there's no help or no support from the government, what do? These landlords, these businesses, they don't get a break from what they're paying. So if they can get an event there to help pay for the next couple months of their rent, why not? I'm sure that 300 event helped them pay for a couple months of their lease, of their rent. So they had to make it happen, right? I mean, the government's not giving us any extra money. They're saying you can't work, you can't do this, but they're not helping. And that's the most frustrating part to me. So that's kind of what I want to talk about. I mean, I wish they would have had masks. I wish they would have. I don't know. I don't know if they had masks. I don't know if they had temperature checks. I don't know if they had proof to show anything. The amount of people obviously was too big. The space didn't sound like it was huge. And I don't know the type of wedding that it was. They didn't say ethnicity. They didn't say anything. It was in Queens. I've never been to Queens, but through an indoor parking area. So that makes it sound sketchy, but I actually think it might just be like their entrance. I mean, that just might be where it is. But it was a wedding. I'm sure there's vendors there. I'm sure there was people there. There's a band, live music. So it wasn't like a secret thing. And it was at midnight. So maybe somebody was just mad at the music and they got called in like a normal thing. Ultimately, guys, we have to be careful. We have to make sure that we're doing everything that we can to keep the event system going. But I don't have a final thing for this. I feel bad for them. I don't feel bad for them, but also they got to do what they got to do. When they started telling us photographers that we couldn't even do the shoot in front of people's houses, where people were just going to the porch shooting at the beginning, where we were able to do our 200 millimeter lens, get 20 feet away and grab shoots of you and your family in front of your house. When they stopped allowing us to do that, that was the draw for me. That was like, what can I do? Because my mortgage is still due. My credit card payments are still due. I still got stuff I have to do. Like, what am I allowed to do? And why aren't you letting me do it? So that's kind of where we're at. I would love to hear your guys' on this. Articles there, I read the whole thing. It's not too big. And it was just kind of something that was pushed to me because this was kind of one of the first things that I heard of people actually getting arrested, fined, and especially in the event industry because it's always threatened. And now I'm going to look for more to see if there's any more happening. As far as Reno, Tahoe goes, I don't think anything's happened. I've shot weddings with more than 150 people. I've shot weddings with more than 200 people. Shaking hands, people are hugging, people are doing whatever. Luckily as a vendor, I get to have my camera in front of me. I get to disperse myself. I will say that my couples though are freaking amazing. They're doing what they're doing. They are more concerned, obviously, when the guests are. So they're having sanitizer. They're making sure that when you're going to get food, you're wearing a mask. They're making sure that they're providing masks to people, and those masks are going to use. They're even giving wristbands out. So they're giving like a red, green, and a yellow wristband, meaning that if you're going to a wedding and you wear a green wristband, you're okay to fist bump, to elbow, to hug, to do whatever. If you're wearing a red one, you're like, please respect my decision to not be close to you because I'm worried about COVID. I'm sick, I'm high risk or whatever, right? And so basically, when we see those wristbands, I know that when I position people, I position them far. And yes, family photos are looking different. Bride and groom and all family. And then we have a couple stragglers off to the side. And I'm even thinking about photoshopping them in a little closer. But that's things that my couples are doing. And I'm very happy that they're doing that. And, family's family. You can't really dictate what family does. So let me know what you guys think about this. That's kind of it. Hope you're having a good day. Bye.